Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I decided to give it a try to these more affordable options in running sneakers, and this is the first pair that you're gonna see it. As always, we're gonna start with the unboxing. The package arrived correctly, no issues here with the boxes. I kinda have to do this because a few times I did receive it in bad shape. I want to have a disclaimer if it's needed at some point. We can see here some of my sizes. You can pause the video if you need, and a closer look of this label. These sneakers can be found for women's also in different colorways. I didn't find anything else in the box. We can see here both sneakers, but I will start with the left foot because we want to see if the quality is consistent or not. If you care about cushioning, you should pay attention to this part. You can pause the video if you need. Please remember that the internal midsole is the one that we care about. The rest of it is for pleasing the eye. During the video, I will try to show different ratings for different parts of these sneakers just to show you a bit better what I like it and what I don't. During this shot I'm trying to show you how is the stitching and the gluing on these sneakers. Although that these sneakers are on the budget, I didn't find any issues with them, to be fair, at least on this particular pair. This is the first time when I'm trying something with bounce midsole, and I'm curious to see how it is. And to be fully honest, I did lower down a bit my expectations because this is a different category, different price range, so it's half of it in comparison with the ones that we can find in Ultra Boost, for example. Those are double the price of these ones. In the shot we can see the cage is pretty rugged, to be fair, and it did left me a good impression overall. You can see the upper is pretty perforated, but it's important to be perforated inside, which is not in this case. I did like it, the thickness around the toe box of this outsole. I mean, feels rugged, it's thick enough, it's grippy, and for the price, it's good enough, to be fair. In this shot we can see the labels that are coming with these sneakers. I won't spend too much time with these ones, just pause the video if you need. This is my rating for the internal midsole. This is the only thing that I don't like it very much on the sneakers, which is the cushioning. That it does suffer in these sneakers quite a bit. This bounce foam, it doesn't give a good performance in these sneakers. The cushioning on them is just acceptable. It's not the worst I've seen probably, but it's just acceptable. Here we can see the outsole. For me this was probably the biggest surprise on these sneakers. It's actually very good, much better than others that are around 200 euros or dollars, for me at least. So if the longevity is something very important for you, these sneakers will do a very good job, I believe, with this outsole. It's not perfect because it's perforated and it has exposed foam, but it is what it is, you know, almost the best thing you can get these days, because now we don't find 100% rubber sole in running sneakers at this price point, and they started to do this even with the trail version, which is really stupid to not have 100% rubber sole in trail version sneakers. That's stupid for everyone. If is anyone that is wondering why is that stupid, well, see my episode 64 at the minute 13:17. And that happened to me more than once, and I will show you that in the future videos with New Balance More Before, which is my latest running sneakers that I use right now. In the shot we can see the insole. The insole actually I didn't like it also because it's very thin and it's very sticky and doesn't give those properties that the foot is needing. No cushioning for the footbed, no bounce back. Not to mention that it has only 4 millimeters thickness. So you are better if you can search a different one and replace it this one. Probably any other insole will be better than this one. In the shot we can see that this midsole inside it does have some perforations, it's drilled somehow. The footbed feels very rigid. On this shot we can see the internal label and we can see that they were produced in February 2023. In the shot we can see the right foot and we're gonna have a quick look because I'm trying to not miss any detail that is important. I like it here on the cage because they did reinforce it, the last stitching on the edge, and small details like this can count in long term for the longevity of the shoe. We can see here again the outsole. I didn't find any issues with this outsole. Of course I would like to see 100% rubber outsole, but this freaking trend, you know. All the longevity of the shoe depends on these outsoles. If these ones are incomplete, how do we expect to last, you know? And they are saying they are doing this because of the climate change, but in reality it's exactly the opposite, the result using these incomplete soles, because these sneakers they won't last as much, so we're gonna generate more garbage. So do you see where is the garbage here? For them it will be more money for less materials, and that's fine for them. For us, well, that's why when I hear we want more lightweight sneakers, that gives me headaches, sincerely. If you really care about this planet and you are not selfish, don't ask for more lightweight sneakers. It's just common sense. Think in your children what kind of planet they will find after us. Because we need to think at big scale. It's not just you or just me or just somebody else. There are 2 billion people on this earth. And if everyone will change the sneakers every 3 months or less, well, how much garbage is there? We all see how this recycle thing goes right now. I mean, it's a lot of publicity and a lot of blah blah blah, but in reality they don't do as much as we imagine they do. Here we have the weight test. As you can tell, they are not very lightweight, and that's okay. Maybe they can reduce a bit in padding for the materials, but increase a bit more the material in that outsole in order to last. In this shot I'm trying to show you how they fit to my feet, these insoles, and I will say that, like I'm writing there, this text, they are a bit more narrow than my feet, but I will still have enough space inside because the upper, it will give me enough room inside. And by the way, my feet are regular width and the sneakers for me are true to size. If you have wider feet, I suggest you to search something else because these ones, they won't give you enough room inside. Here we can see the size of these laces and the closer look of these sneakers. The laces on these sneakers feels rugged enough and premium enough for the price that they have. The elasticity on them is good enough. I do like the laces to have less elasticity in general. I wish that this tongue was a bit more thinner, because with the heat that we have right now, this is not the best option for the summer. And the internal part, I wish it was more perforated. This is the thing that it lacks these sneakers. Here I'm trying to show you more or less how thick is that midsole, and I can promise you that it's not as much as you can see outside. That is for the eye, but inside is quite a bit less, almost half of it. And I wish that the external midsole that we can see outside, that nobody uses because it's only outside, it would have been under my toe box. That is the most normal thing to do, but they are doing this because these are raising the sales, obviously. Thick midsole, a lot of cushioning. Well, it's not really that way in many sneakers. And later on I will show you in comparison with Adizero SL, which has bigger stack, internal stack, and still these ones look taller than those. How come, right? In this shot I'm trying to show you that the lining is not perforated, only the upper is here perforated. As you can tell, the internal midsole has some holes inside, but they weren't enough to make a difference and make them soft enough. Here we have a quick water test with few drops just to see how this material is. And as you can tell, they don't have any coating special for rain or anything. And that's fine for me. Less PFAs this way. By the way, I'm taking these measures in every sneakers, so you can open different windows and check different models to see how they are, more or less, if they are wider, narrower, or, you know, true to size or not. And even the stability, how is on them. Wider is the toe box, better stability in general. In this shot we can see my arch and my instep. Maybe for some of you this info is important. The opening in them is big enough, so I didn't have any issues to get them easy on my feet. Not like Ultraboost 1 or 5 that have smaller opening. First thing with them on my feet, it was that I was feeling that they have good comfort and the cushioning is just average. The stability on them is good enough because they are wide enough, those outsoles, and overall I can say that they have good value for money, these sneakers. while I was having them on my feet, I realized that they are very close to Ultraboost 1, DNA 1 or Ultraboost 5. Those maybe have a better airy upper in comparison with these ones, but the comfort and the cushioning is very similar. Even the comfort I think is better on these ones because they are not very tight on my toe box and instep like those are. So I do prefer these ones over those in comfort, and those are 2 times the price of these ones. And here I decided to make this comparison with Adizero SL because I had them on my home and I wanted to show you how the stack can be a factor which can make you buy a sneaker even though they don't have really that stack inside, you know. As you have seen on the video, those SL look much smaller than these ones in stack, but is a reverse in reality. Those SL are bigger in stack than these ones, and you can feel that, not by much, but you can feel it in the cushioning. The SL model has more bounce back than these ones. I can feel that in forefoot very easily. If I had to compare the outsoles from these 2 models, I would say that the one from Ultrabounce is better made and better materials, in my opinion. It feels a bit more rugged. Maybe because the one from SL has some paint over and that one makes it lose a bit of grip. Maybe when that paint is out, they will have better grip, but for now as new, they aren't too great. Here on this SL, I feel taller with them because they are a bit more in stack. Although outside they don't look taller, they give you a bit more height because of that thickness in that internal midsole. Quick some pros and cons. Well, for pros, you already know they have good soles, good upper, more or less, good comfort for the price that they have. They have few colorways to choose. For cons, you already know, I didn't like it very much, the midsole. It's a bit thin and quite rigid. The insoles are poor quality and the tongue a bit too thick. And that will be it for the price, you know. They are good enough in my opinion. I will end here this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and please take care of you. Have a nice day.